Edward Stevenson, TimelessWealth.net, and the following is basic technical analysis on Rambus Incorporated, stock symbol RMBS. If you followed my videos, you know that this is one of my favorite trending stocks. The reason being is that interpreting the TA on this stock is one of the most interesting activities throughout all the securities traded publicly. If you are a beginner and just learning about technical analysis, I would recommend you follow this stock and attempt to draw trend lines and discover trends related to Rambus's market. The first thing I'd like to point out is that in early December we had what is typically known as a technical breakout. We had resistance at approximately $19.50 per share, so it'd be this mark right here. And on this trading session right here, where we had above average volume pour in, we had a technical breakout. The price broke above this level, and consequently this became support. The theory behind this practice is that as resistance levels are broken, they become supporting levels. So likewise, this 19.5 level became support. And since then, the price has rallied all the way to a new 52-week high at 24.30 cents per share. There's one thing that's quite common about this chart and is held true for quite a while, since I've been covering this since the summer months, as well as the early fall months. I know I've done this one a few times. If you notice, when the price breaks above the 10-day simple moving average, so that'd be this blue line right here, and you can reference that in the top left hand corner right here, we see a rally in price. When it breaks below the 10-day simple moving average, we see a decline in the market or retracement in price. As you can see here, the price has held well above this 10-day simple moving average thus far. In fact, we formed this short-term uptrend that would look something along these lines. You know, that's not very accurate, but just a general idea out there, so that you are aware that we are in an uptrend concerning RMBS, and that this trend line right here, indicating this green dashed line, would represent support and this one resistance. As you can see, the price has been contained within this channel, and until the price breaks either above or below this channel will hold true. Supporting levels allow swing traders, investors, longs and shorts alike to realize where the price may be potentially supported by the market bulls. Relative to RMBS, we're looking at support at the parabolic SAR / 20-day simple moving average / middle Bollinger Band. That would be this area right here, and that is approximately $21. So we'll indicate that with a solid line. The next area of support that's very evident on the chart would be this area right here at approximately $22 per share, followed by approximately $23 per share. I believe that looks something along these lines, which would be the low on Wednesday's trading session, which was $23.55, as well as 22.5, which I won't indicate with a trend line, but that is the 10-day simple moving average, again referenced in the top left hand corner, so I'll just circle that here. And the reason I bring this up again is that if you're an investor, if you're a long, if you're a swing trader, it's very evident where you might want to collect additional shares, add to your position, start a new position. Generally, or one technique in terms of profiting in the equity market is buying at support and selling at resistance. To determine the resistance, we will quickly flip over to the monthly chart. As I've mentioned before, this is a 52-week high, so it's obviously difficult to evidence any resistance besides this mark. Before you, I've adjusted this chart to monthly intervals, which basically means that every bar and or candle represents 1 month worth of price action. As you can see, in the month of December, the price has appreciated nearly 34% and peaked at a new 52-week high of 24.30 cents per share. And I'd like to show you that we are at a point where we're facing resistance that dates back not only to 2008, and that would be early 2008, this period right here, but a high made back in 2005, late 2005, early 2006. So essentially we are facing a top, and in the event that the price can break past this resisting level, so let me just indicate that in red to represent resistance. And again, I'm not going to be too specific with what that price would be. I'm just going to say that's the 52-week high, the 24.5 level, let's suppose. We are looking at a clean break to resistance right here at this high, so I'm not quite sure what that would be. It looks like it's well above 30, maybe $32. So from a technical perspective, this would be a breakout to the $32 level, and if that level can fall, I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, but resistance wouldn't follow until this level right here, which is in and around $40 per share. So those are some resistance levels to focus on if you are along, especially because again, this is the monthly chart, which means that every bar is 1 month worth of price action. And here, just to show you, is the breakout at 19.5 that I talked about. It looks something like this. As you can see, it dates back to being quite a crucial level in the past years, all the way back to 03. You can see here it was resistance, and once the price broke past, it also rallied to $30+ per share. So to quickly wrap up, we're looking at support at the 23.6 level or so, $23 per share, $22.5 per share, 21, and that breakout point I've talked about 3 times now, $19.5 per share. In terms of resistance, we are facing resistance dating back several years in around the $24.5 range, followed by resistance at $30 to $32 per share. Once we get closer to that mark, I'll definitely provide an update in the event that that occurs altogether, followed by obviously more or less an all-time high at $40 per share. Once again, this was Edward Stevenson from TimelessWealth.net. I would encourage you to visit my site, tune into some of the material I've recently added, and subscribe to my free newsletter for overlooked trading and undervalued investment ideas. Thank you for listening.